What is up, Hipster Nation? What's going on, everybody? Just a reminder, we did start memberships on this channel, so if you want to hit that join button, build this community up. We also have super chats and super thanks. So when you're watching the video, make sure you go hit that super thanks if you want to, just see the channel grow. I will be showing what this channel it will be growing into. We want to build the community up. We want to get this channel out to as many people as we can. So just a reminder, make sure you stay in your lane or crash the damn thing. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I'm going to redo that. I mean, after hearing it, I sound like I'm talking low. I was because the wife was here, so I was trying not to
Speak
talk
too loudly.
loud. Yeah, and all that. And it's weird because I try not to be real, blah, 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 blah. Let me
Right.
check this Facebook. See, this is what I got to do now. I got to go to Facebook. I got to go in my Facebook. I don't understand it. And then I have to go to my channel or my thing. I go down to where I'm live.
Yeah.
See where we're live? Okay. So I have to hit those three little dots. Well, I have to hit those three little dots. Well, no. Go to edit privacy. I don't understand why. Nope. I hit the wrong one. Stop. I don't want to save. Okay, let's see. Three little. Oh, hit those three little dots. Welcome, everybody. By the way, I'm Ray's Motor Life. This is Retired Rider below me. Yeah, I have to go to edit privacy. See? And it's always set on friends only.
Huh.
And it says Pacific friends, friends expert,
Yeah, you want
only
that.
me. I go to public. Okay. Then I
Yeah.
hit public.
Yeah.
I hit done. It says change audience. If you change the audience of this reel, anyone can create reels with your original audio.
Right.
So I have to hit change for it to go to public. So how come, and then when I go into my options though, now people can comment on Facebook and I'll see it and it'll pop up in my side chat. But if I go into my regular just options and stuff,
It won't let.
it's already public. No, it's like I've already put it on public for everybody. So it
Huh.
does not, yeah, it's weird because I have to change that every single time. And I don't get it. So, okay, guys. So what the title is Trump exposes the Democrat Party. Would you stop? Okay. Not Trump. Sorry. What's up, Ben? I was talking to the doggy. She's running from the cat. So they like to run back and forth all day. Anyways, if anybody missed it last night, if you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about President Trump. Good afternoon. President Trump addressed Congress last night. It was not a State of the Union address. A lot of people on social media is, mixing that up with,
Yeah.
with what he did. So
Yeah.
it was actually just addressed to Congress. And in
Yeah.
my opinion, he did expose the party because the way their demeanor was, the way they acted, the way they couldn't even. I get they don't like him, and I get they're not going to clap for his success because God knows, yes, I'm a Trump guy, but we all know Trump's ego. He loves to count his success. I mean, he does. He's got an ego, and he loves to boost his accomplishments. And who wouldn't in that kind of highest position in the country or the
Right.
world? I mean, he does. He talks. He's cocky. He's all. I get that. That's just a part you have to overlook if you're going to be someone that cares about the country and vote for him, in my opinion, because I'm not eating dinner with the guy. I'm not his best friend. I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for somebody that
Right.
can fix this country and
Right.
fix things that, the Democrat Party has, or Joe Biden and them, destroyed the last 4 years. And sorry, last night he addressed Congress, and when it's sad when the Democrat Party can't even stand up and clap for a 11-year-old boy that has had cancer for 6 years, 13 brain surgeries, and fought. It's pretty bad. And I think, like we were talking earlier, I think that was he's so strategic. He's calculated. He knows what he's doing. He's one of the. I mean, he wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't one of. I'm not saying the best negotiator, but he's a good negotiator. He knows how to negotiate. I mean, look what he did to Ukraine's president. I mean, now the guy's sending him letters and begging for, hey, I'm ready for peace. Are you really though? I mean, I'd question it, of course, but sometimes you got to put people in their place and humble them. I don't think Trump was being a bully. I think he was just doing what he knows best to actually get, Zelensky. I have trouble saying his name. Zelensky. Yeah. I think he was just getting him to the place where he needed to be ready for peace. He was gun ho about, a lot of that stuff and just wanting us to support, give money, boots on the ground, all that stuff. So
endless war.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. And then
more money. Yeah.
He goes to UK. They promise him 100-year backing, $3 billion a year. That's an endless war.
Yeah.
100-year backing. You're not even going to live that long. That's an endless war because it doesn't matter if we got 20, if we get 80 more years. It's still endless war because it's never going to end till it's still going to be going when we die. So, but I've got a little clip. Hopefully they won't bing me, copyright me for it. But from last night, I've got the whole thing. Let me see if I can share the screen. We'll pull it up and just kind of skiff through a little bit of it. We're not going to do all of it, but we will skiff through a little bit. Let's see. I ain't never used this screen. So, it made us real little, didn't it? Ooh-wee.
That's all right.
So if you're sitting in the background watching, thanks for showing up. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. This is for entertainment only, guys. Just our opinions. So, yeah, this is like starting out. USA. So if you missed this last night, this is Trump coming in. Okay, so the first part we're going to get to is the controversial part. Okay, let's see. We got all the big, some podcast guys, Ben Shapiro, Jolly Games.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Okay, so
we have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years.
Yeah.
And we are just getting started.
So we're going to skip through just a little bit.
In many decades,
we
won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
So if you notice, no Democrat claps. Now, the judges and the military guys, they are not allowed. They don't supposed to clap at all.
No, they can't get engaged in that.
No, they're supposed to be,
neutral.
Yeah, they don't supposed to be, one party or none of that. So they don't, really show a lot of, any of that stuff. Let me get over here. And, this is just him kind of saying, a few things here. We don't want to get copyrighted. I do want to, right here, we want to start with the controversial. Now, if you notice, they're holding up little signs that say Elon steals and, false, true, all that stuff. But Al Green, if you don't know who Al Green is, he's a Democrat, representative. Let's see. Okay, so he's thinking Tom Homan. They kind of, he wants to go off, interrupt Trump. And this is why he does it. He does it over health care. If you listen to the interview that Al Green gave when he walked out of there, he said, I don't care what the consequences are. I don't know what they are for me doing what I did for interrupting. But he said, he's talking about Medicare and all this stuff. So
this optimism saw its single largest 1-month gain
so he's
ever
right
recorded,
now.
a 41-point jump.
Oh, yeah.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions.
That's Al Green.
That's your warning.
Yeah.
That's your warning. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, this guy's already started impeachment inquiries on Trump. He wasn't in there 2 weeks, and he already started to impeach, So if that doesn't tell you something, I mean, what did Trump do the first thing he came in? He shut the border down. So these guys started, okay, hey, let's impeach him right off the bat. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, so what we're going to do.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Restore order. And that's the way it should be. You know, I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
They should not allow. Now, this is just my opinion. I don't believe they should allow anyone to be that disruptive. While the president of the United States is speaking.
I don't ever remember a Republican ever doing anything like that.
Mr.
No,
Green,
they
take your
didn't.
seat.
And you know what? That's
Take
the
your
thing.
seat, sir.
He tells him, he says, "Take your seat. Just sit down, sir." You know what I mean? We get it. You don't like him, whatever. And you know what?
Right.
I've never seen Republicans hold up the signs. Now I may be mistaken,
No.
but I
I
didn't
have
see
never
them
seen-
when Joe Biden was doing the State of the
Yeah.
Union and all that stuff. Never seen
Yeah.
it. The only thing I ever seen was like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like handing out those pins that said Laken Riley and, wore a MAGA hat. So,
Yeah.
here, he's
Take your
fixing,
seat.
he's going on. He won't shut up. He won't sit down. JD Vance says,
Finding that
get
members
him out.
continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
To restore order. And this is why we have
Remove this gentleman from the
back and
chamber.
forth. I mean, this is democracy right here. You go back and forth. I mean, you got to work things out. You got to learn to. This is why we have so many people in government, though. I don't think they meant. Let's see. Let's wait while I talk about it. Okay, so they're still get his over. Watch him. He ain't stop. He don't want to stop. Get out.
Waving his cane, man. Get out of here.
I mean, why does he even carry it? I mean, he don't need it, obviously. I ain't going to stop
I don't
sharing.
know.
I'm
I
just
just
going to
don't.
point
I
down.
just think it doesn't matter who's the president, whether it's Biden or whether whoever it is. You don't act like that. You can not clap. You can stay seated. You don't have to engage, but you don't engage like that. I mean,
No.
that's not the place in Congress to do that. That's not where you should do it.
Well,
anyway.
you see these classic paintings and all that of George Washington, and them in the house and them arguing back and forth, and these paintings of, and pictures
Yeah.
showing them, standing up, going at it. Now, I believe there's times for that. When
Well,
they
yeah, that's
actually,
when you're
when-
trying to pass a law or
when
something.
they're
or trying to
voting,
pass
yes,
a
and
bill.
debating
Yeah,
and
that's-
doing that
that's
stuff.
different.
But
yeah. This is
but
just
when
a-
go ahead.
this was just a presidential address.
Yes.
There was no back and forth or passing the bill or anything like that.
Yeah.
They should just let him speak. If you don't like what he says, just don't say anything. Just sit on your hands and just sit there,
Exactly.
or don't show up.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. When the president of the United States addresses you know what I mean? You need to have enough, respect to
Absolutely.
listen to what the man says. If not, don't go. I mean, it wasn't a forced, there
No,
were a few
don't have
that
to
get
go.
up later on and they walk out. They're not forced to be there. Like AOC wasn't there. She's like, and she said something this morning like, yeah, I wasn't there, but I watched it, so you didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, really? Like, she was like, I watched it, so people didn't have to. Like, I mean, she's so delusional with these, this stuff. And the things that she had said this morning was just off the wall, of course, because she's like part of the squad. They're all in woke,
Yeah.
Yes, I can say that. What's up, sick? And here's the thing, though. Most presidents usually do this. They address their Congress after, a month or so, whenever they feel like they've accomplished a few things. And they kind of want to give a plan. Or that's the way I listen to certain things. Like, hey, here's kind of what, you know what I mean? I've done so far. This is what I've told you I'm going to do. This is what we've got to do in the future here. We got to get.
Well, this
these-
was a little unusual because normally they don't do this. I understand why he did it, but normally they don't talk until the first State of the Union address. And
Well, see, I thought it was.
no, this was unusual. This was the Speaker of the House.
Well,
invited him.
then I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Then I'm
Usually
wrong.
the president doesn't talk about anything until he does his first State of the Union address. So this is
So
a little bit
what makes
outside
you
the line.
think? I mean, what thinks? Okay, so why do you think? Do you think his ego did this, or do you think he was just kind of
No,
wanting to,
I think he just
for
wanted
the country to
to
recognize what Hey,
Yeah.
we're working.
Well,
you know what I mean? We're
right.
working for you.
Yeah.
You know,
He just wanted to exactly lay out his plans, what he wanted to do.
because
He
he's
wanted
been
everybody
gun ho
to
ever
understand.
since. He's
Yeah.
been completely gun ho, and I know he's really trying to do a lot in the first. They always promise the first 100 days. Most presidents don't get anything done in the first 100 days. I mean, they'll get one or two things, but there's a lot of stuff that, like there were 2 or 3 big things that he called on Congress to pass last night. Hey, get it through. I will sign it. It needs to be signed because it does. It needs to be wrote into law, or it's not going to. To me, it's no good.
Executive orders don't mean anything, but
exactly. So it's no good until he leaves, and then or it's good till then.
He leaves.
It's like, hey, I'm going to rent a car, but I have to give it back because I'm the president. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're only going to let me borrow it. I mean, until it's done, unless we pay for it. I buy it. You know what I mean? And then I can keep it.
Right.
But so, maybe not the best example, but they know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was good. I liked it. I mean, this guy. I'm gonna go back up over there in a minute. It's just the way the Democrat Party. This is what gets me. And like I was saying earlier, they have no shred for human. This wasn't just about him. I understand they don't like him. They're not going to clap for his success because they don't like that kind of success. They want open borders. They want men and women's sports. I mean, come on. And we're going to show it. They wear pink. The women are wearing pink to say they are standing up for women's rights. But yesterday now, yesterday there was not a single one Democrat voted to protect the girls in sports or out of the locker rooms or out of the bathrooms. Not a single one put that note. And like I was telling you earlier, I heard that what they said was they didn't want him coming in with a win. Is that a win? See, that's where they're wrong
for everybody.
But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't even be a win. That should be just an accomplishment. That should be protecting the young girls and women. They shouldn't even be looking at it as a win or a loss. Him getting a win. No. That should be, good for the country. But to them, that's him winning and they're losing because they can't push their, hey, this guy's in the military with lipstick on. You know what I mean? And holding DEI positions. And, because, look at who Joe Biden hired. The bald-headed dude with lipstick running around in dresses up there for the Health and Human Services. Or the guy that was in charge, the long-hair guy, and then I'm telling you, it's just, it is a complete mess. So to them, anything Trump gets done and successful on, for us, is a loss to them because it's their hands are, they're not getting their hands on what they want. They're not getting their way. They're not getting the stuff they push.
Well, what they showed last night is who they are.
Yeah.
I think that's what Trump was doing. He was wanting to show exactly what they are.
Okay, let's see here. We'll go back to that. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Let me go back over here, and we'll just skip through a little bit of it. Okay, so they get rid of him, this guy. There's the young lady. There's
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way.
He's talking about the illegal.
In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month. And virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy, or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. That's five times I've been up here.
Well, that's what I wanted to basically show I'm going to show more, but he's exposing them for, like he said, they're not even clapping for a sick young man that has cancer. That had nothing to do with Trump. The girl that got hit with the volleyball was Trump's guest. She got paralyzed in the face. She went into a coma for a little bit. I think it was.
Brain damage.
Yes, brain damaged. She will never be, they said, she's 19 now. She was 17 then. Said when the boy hit her, because he was playing in the girls' volleyball, when the boy hit her and spiked the ball, that the doctors say she will never be 100%. She never could go back to sports because if she got hit in the head again, something may, could have put her down for good or like really affected her, So, and when they don't, to me, I loved it because he exposed them right there, and you can see every one of them sitting there either holding a sign or they're just looking down at their phone or they're like, cussing under their breath. They mean no good for anybody in this except for themselves, in my opinion. They showed last night when it come to those people and that kid and the fire people and the police officers that he recognized that had passed away and got killed by criminals, and they wouldn't even clap or even stand up or anything. This is what aggravates me. He didn't do that. He's not taking a victory lap for a police officer dying. He's saying, hey, we've got to stop this. This is the wife and the kid of this officer that put his life online and died because Joe Biden allowed these illegals to come in over the border and murder and pillage and everything. I can't say the other word, but you know what I mean. He, hurt these young girls, beat the cops up in the streets in New York. I mean, Colorado, take over a building. These people can't even clap and stand up and say, we're glad you closed the border, just like he says. And if I can find I think it's back in the beginning. I had the clip somewhere. Now I lost it. But he says, and I'll tell you what he says, people. Every one of them, even Kamala Harris and every one of them, hollered and screamed, we need to go through the House and Congress. We need to write up a bill to stop the border, to help the border, to close the border, to close the border. Yeah, we got to do this. We need more, we need a bill. And he says, no, you just needed another president because that president opened the border. And that they did not clap. Of course, they're not going to because they want open borders. They want it all just free for all, government spending, government taking care of everybody, government health care. I mean, in my opinion, they want it, freely, us hardworking Americans that pay taxes and pay in. They want to live and they want to provide everybody else with free living, free housing, all this stuff. Why? What does that accomplish, John? What does it do good to do?
It keeps them in power. It puts them in power. That's what it does. Their goal, Ray, was to win this election that Trump won, to get as many people, illegals, as they could in the swing states, okay? They wanted to be in power again so they could make, was it Washington State? They wanted to make, add more senators. They wanted to add more Supreme Court justices. Their goal was to take control and be in power for eternity. That's what their goll was.
And their little tricks, what they were trying to do when they opened the border. You notice these sanctuary cities were big cities, New York, Chicago, California, big cities. And what they were planning on doing, in my belief, is they were going to flood these blue cities with illegal immigrants. And when I know you'd say, oh, there's an illegal, most people think of Mexican person. Man, they're coming in from Africa to, Zimbabwe to you name it. So many different countries, China, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. I believe, Haiti, everywhere. They wanted to flood these Democrat sanctuary cities. And when they did, they would have enough voters because they tried every way in the world to get those people on a voting roll and to allow them to vote. And they thought that if they could allow these millions of immigrants to come in and vote Democrat because they let them come in, they're giving them free housing, free food, free school, free health care. they thought that they would completely vote them in and they would never get out of power because they would always be voted in by these big cities, and a Republican could not run and beat these big sanctuary cities, because they knew if they over flooded these sanctuary cities, we would have never won another election. They would have completely, if they would have been voting, if all these illegals could have voted, and I ain't saying they didn't, there's a lot that probably did. I'm sure of it. They caught a bunch of them because Laura Trump, man, she was on time. She was working hard this past year. And all these people that did the side work, hustle and all that, man, they did good. But yes, if they wouldn't have had lawyers, that's where they messed up the 2020, she said. She said we didn't have everybody in place like we did this time. This time we had lawyers in every state and every county ready to sue, and we were checking and suing. You know, they were not going to allow this to happen. And I believe it. I believe if they could have got away with it, we would have seen Democrats running this country for the next 100 years. They would allow, because guess what? If they opened borders up and allowed 20 million people in here, they would have never closed them. We would have had half the world's population trying to move in, you know. I mean, really, like,
Yeah.
and guess what that would have done to our society? It would have broke our society down. We would all, I mean, truly, that's what, you know, communists and dictators do. You know, they want you to live off them, the government. They want you dependent on them, actually. They don't want you to live. They want to make their millions. They want you to depend on the government so they can control you. Well, when they can control you and they can control what car you buy, where you go, they know those electric cars don't do no more than 200 miles at a time. Guess what? They're not stupid. They're not spending $9 billion on 7 charging stations. That's what they said. That's crazy. $9 billion for something to run off diesel. And then they're saying, oh, no, we all need nothing but electric, but we're going to run diesel to power it. I mean, that doesn't make no sense, you know? Yeah. No. So, I mean, it's, I think we dodged a bullet. And he even said last night, you know, thank God. I mean, where was she, you know, or something like where would you be, or something, or where, imagine it if she would have won, or something like that, you know. Let's jump over here and see where we're.
It's very sad, and it just should.
Let's see.
Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Yep. Foreign aid is shut down right now. The only bad thing is
economy. I have directed that for every 1 new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated.
See?
Just like I did in my very successful.
But you don't see one of them clapping for goodness, for corruption, you know, him getting rid of waste. Everything. I mean, it's.
They're not going to.
No.
And in that first term, we set records on ending
Let me see if I can find
the Gulf of America.
Yeah, he named it Gulf. Oh, they hate that.
You should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence.
Right here's right. Okay.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Look at her. She's going to marry her brother, ain't it?
Country will be woke no longer.
I'll see not in jail.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, look at them. Not a one of them will clap.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
That's Kid Rock's new girlfriend, I think.
You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much.
See, they're not allowed to clap. Look at the Democrats behind them.
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools. And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
Exactly.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
still don't help though when people are getting hurt and they're not, those states are fighting it though. Jolly Gaines, Ben Shapiro.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best,
That's
preparing
right
for a
there.
future in college sports. But when her
Look
girl,
at Nancy Pelosi. She won't clap. They won't even clap for a girl that's survived anything.
I know.
what I've just
They're supposed to be
described
the
is
party
only a
of women.
small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare.
He points oh yeah, he points at them, and this is what I love about him, man. He ain't scared to. Yeah, he will call
Well,
them
he's
out.
not running for president again. This is his last term. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Well, he can't do whatever he wants, but he can
Well,
say
you know, yeah, he could go pretty far, but like he said, these people, it doesn't matter. The ones right here in front of you, no matter what I do, they wouldn't clap. I just think it exposes every bit of what they stand for. They're not for, like I said earlier, they're not for the American people. They're for the criminals. You know, they do. They stand up on the criminal side. They make statues. They let the criminals burn cities down. They let them do whatever. They bond them out of jail. They set up funds like Kamala Harris did, you know, to bond people out of jail, the criminals. And where does the innocent person get? You know, we're the ones that get arrested in school board meetings. You know, we get called names, serious names. You know, if we question anything, if we actually, you know, decide to say, hey, wait a minute, common sense, I'm not going to allow my kid to do this or that, you know. So, I mean, this is what I don't get. As anyone says, like these Democrats, man, they got kids, they got grandkids.
Yeah.
A lot of them do. And great grandkids. Shoot, they're older than dirt. So what I don't get is how the heck. Well, I mean, yeah, they got 310-year-old people drawing Social Security. And that's the thing. They got kids. They go to ball games. They watch their kids play sports if they play sports.
Oh, hell yeah.
How in the world do you sit and agree? Maybe there's not a boy on their kids' team, but how do you agree? Because you know how it is. Like, hey, we want them here, but we don't want them living next door to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they are. Like, you can live in their country, but you ain't going to live in my neighborhood.
Well, you're missing what it's all about. It's all about control. And you got to understand, for the last 8 years, they basically, you know, people accepted that woke stuff. People accepted that transgender stuff. And then people finally, in the Biden administration, decided, this is not the right way to go. So the American people woke up and they realized, hey, this is not good. What's going on is not good. But it was working for them then. They had not only did they have the mainstream media, they had social media, they had Twitter, they had all that stuff to where they could control all the narratives, but they don't have that anymore. They don't have control of anything anymore. So now the American people, when Elon took over Twitter, they started to wake up to all this crazy crap that was going on. The truth was coming out. So why they don't understand that, why the Democrats can't see that, I don't know. It has to be something wrong with them. I hate to say this, but there has to be something wrong with them mentally.
Because they lost their message.
Yeah, because American people walked away from all that. Yep. Everything they stand for or don't stand for, the American people walked away from it. They don't want that anymore, and they can't see it. And that's what I don't understand.
And that's what someone else was saying. You know, their messaging, they ain't even stopped and realized their messaging that they're sending out there is not what people want. Yeah, nobody wants that, but they keep going further and further, which is good. They won't ever get voted
fine for me.
Yeah,
That's
me
fine
too.
for me.
Because I want common sense. But here's the thing: like they're not even. I think everyone in their own parties is scared of each other. If one of them does stand up and say something common sense, they're so scared they're going to get blackballed or put out because that's what they do. they team up on each other, you know what I mean, and get a person out that don't agree with them. I mean, that's what they've done for the last 8 years. You know, they've done, you know, they've went off the cliff, and they're like, well, and then the legacy media, they had them, they had Joe Rogan, they had Elon Musk, until they went completely off the edge. And then it's like, people started waking up saying, wait a minute, you know, this is extreme. You know, this party used to be like, you know, towards the middle, you know, this and that. I mean, it was, people thought they were for the, you know, working class and
they went far left as soon as Trump was elected.
What they done was they've got out the actual your daddy's Democrats, and they put in activists. That's what it is. They put in activists. These are not actually politics. These are activists, because if you always look at them, they're always making a commotion on camera, out in the city, in the streets, doing something, screaming about something. Social media, they're always complaining, screaming. Yes. And they're activists. They've replaced the actual politician with activists. And let me get to this one.
Their policies drove a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Yeah, he's telling him about the economy. So, talking about Elon Musk, the Doge. Oh, they hate that. They're.
Oh yeah, they hate it.
$8 million to promote LGBT.
Right here's our wasteful money right here, where it's going.
Just listen to some of the appalling
Listen to
waste
some of this stuff.
we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens.
And I can't even get a free house.
$45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
Yeah, nobody even knows.
Who the hell knows?
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+.
What the heck is that?
In the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million.
Who's ever heard of that?
$8 million for making mice transgender.
Oh, Jesus.
This is real.
Yeah, it is. That's what's sad.
$32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova.
See?
$10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique.
Oh my God! It just takes
$20
a doctor to do
million
a circumcision.
for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program.
$20 million.
$1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Georgia.
Yeah, he called her out.
Yeah, he did.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring.
Yeah, monitoring fish.
$1.5 million for
I'm gonna just watch
voter
fish all day.
confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want my money going to any of that.
alien hotel rooms in New York City.
Yeah, $59 billion. There he is.
He's a real estate developer. He's done very well.
Yeah.
$250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia.
What the heck?
$42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda.
Like, we need to know what their
$14
behavior
million
change
for
is.
improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning.
Yeah, why the hell they need our money?
Exactly.
We use it ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, we can
And
use it
$101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid. Nothing even like it.
Yeah.
Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
He's actually in a suit. Ain't that something? So he's actually in a suit. Now, I don't know about any of you, and this is what I was talking about the other day. If y'all want your money to go there and $50 million to go to Gaza for condoms and stuff, like, you can check the little, they need to put a little box. If you want to check that box and have your hard-earned money to go to all them programs, fine. And that's what he's like, hey, this is real. And people don't get this. They think he's just blowing smoke and
real.
talking big. Yes, this is why he shut down USAID, because do you really think, honestly, that any of this money is getting to that stuff? That's crazy. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I don't ever see it leaving this country.
It's going in there. It's going in those Democrats' pockets. Is where it's going.
Or back in their crooked LLCs.
Not
like
all
Joe
of it,
Biden
but
had. Well, no, but Joe Biden had 30-something different LLC companies and all this, and these people do, and then that, or it's going into their slush fund for their campaign, so they can have money for their campaigns to to run again, and I think it's and that ain't even all. Like he said, that ain't even all. And here, let's see if he says anything about the socialists.
And probable fraud in the Social Security program.
Social
for
Security.
Our seniors.
I mean, people drawing checks here, like, look at them.
People that we love rely on.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
And they wonder why.
3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know
That's
any of
crazy.
them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139.
That's insane.
3.5 million people.
Now, where's all that money going?
From ages 140 to 140.
He says the checks are just continue to go out.
Paid to many of them.
See, money's being paid.
And we're searching right now.
But what are they going to do if they find it? I mean, honestly, what do you think? What do you think on this situation? What do you think they would actually do? I mean, yeah, money's going out, it's being paid, but they're looking for it. I don't know if, first of all, and then he says, they got a 300-something-year-old. That's on Social Security. This is why, in my opinion, the people that actually need Social Security and it's on it, that's elderly, that's paid their whole life, only get $600-700 checks, is because all these millions of dollars are going out to these phony people. So it stops the real people that get it, to actually get a decent amount to live on.
They don't give a crap about you.
No, that's exactly. If you're a foreigner, I think that's what they were trying to do, though. They were trying to get the illegals through the Social Security. You know what I mean? They were trying to say, hey, we're paying, yes, and
we paid in.
Well, we're giving this, and and these illegals, if they get them Social Security numbers and they can get them Social Security, that's their way of getting their votes. But also, in my opinion, there's a way that they were trying to do it to where they're pulling more money out of. And they keep saying Republicans are going to end Medicare and they're going to kill Social Security. They don't want Social Security. Really? After all this stuff that they've just found, that all these checks are going out to people that don't even exist.
Well, they were going out to other programs that
but that's what I mean.
Use it for. Yeah, they were using our tax dollars for bullshit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like with the Social Security going to, they're being sent out. Where are they going to? A program? Or are they going to a?
They were going to money toward the migrants, to the illegals.
But exactly. So the person, Bill over there, that's 125 years old, that's getting his check, he's not really getting it. It's going out to illegal, or it's going to a program to feed an illegal, or in my opinion, or it's going back to that person or some kind of little LLC, and it's going to be transferred into this and that one, and it's going to fund them, keep it in their pocket. And this is why that they're on the news every day hating him and Elon Musk and keep saying, well, he wasn't elected. Pretty much you can hire if you're the president, you can hire anybody you want. They don't have to go through Congress and be elected.
He's a senior advisor. You don't have to be elected.
Exactly. You don't have to go through Congress and be approved and be elected.
Senior advisor. No.
Joe Biden, how many people that was close to his family and stuff that he put in the White House around him and hired people to do things? Not every one of those people went through Congress and was voted on. Not only that, Trump, this is before, Trump actually brought all these people and said it to the whole American or to the world. Hey, he's going to be in charge of this department. She's going to be in charge of this one. He's going to be over here, we're doing this, we're doing that. So it wasn't nothing new. And they keep saying, Elon wasn't elected. He wasn't elected. Who put him in charge? Well, first of all, Trump told everybody what he was going to do. And the American people stood up and voted him in. So we knew what he was going to do. We knew. And if American people did not want Elon in that job position he's in to get rid of all that government spending, wasteful stuff, and pull out all that corruption, we would have voted a different way.
Right.
But the American people knew. We knew what he was going to do. Basically, he was going to put him there to go through this stuff and And the American people still vote. And that's what they can't understand. They get on newses, they get on the CNN, MSNBC, all this, and Jasmine Crockett, and they all complain and say, oh, we're not in the business of giving money out. Yeah, you are. Because you give it to all the illegals. You give it to all these other countries that we don't sign up for. We didn't say, hey, send our tax dollars to, this place or that place. We want to, you didn't ask us, even though you say you represent us, then why ain't you coming to our town and saying, okay, we want to know, because they know if they ran on that, no one would get voted in. They can't say, I represent y'all, but I'm going to do what I feel is best on my beliefs, not y'all's. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they do. They take it upon themselves to say they represent us, but then they go and do whatever they believe in and what they want to do. They don't look out for the best interest of the people they represent. You know what I mean? And I know that they have certain areas and states that they represent this, but when people vote them in, they're not telling them, of course, the whole truth and what they're going to do. Or, some Democrat cities and places know that if they put a Democrat in, their money and stuff's going to some some crazy stuff. So, I mean, it's just, what's up, buddy? But yeah, I just find it funny that, Trump has done all this stuff and trying to do everything he can, I mean, he just can't, you can't. People are too impatient, is what I'm saying. Because
good luck.
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go through that. Let's see what he says here.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big beautiful drop. It's about time.
Yeah, we're gonna see if
for nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed.
Look at them. Not a one of them. The clout for anybody, anything. They are some of the look at him pointing at Elon. They hate it. He's smiling. Look.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right.
Right here.
I don't mean the Republican right.
Right here.
My right here. I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you
See?
that.
Watch them. They can't even clap for tax cuts for the American people.
For the tax.
See? We know these people are going to be voting these things. I mean, they're not even willing to acknowledge that.
Come on, man. What adult senator, somebody that's represents our country and our states, and these senators and Congress people, why would you hold up a little freaking paddle with a message on it? That is so childish.
It is.
It's cringe, man.
Oh.
I just can't stand it. It's like,
I know.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? What is
I don't
your
know.
problem?
I can tell you though, CNN. Let me see if I can find this other one here. It is crazy, like the way they act. And CNN and MSNBC, they have nothing to talk about. Like they're just making stuff up at this point about what he was said last night, and you know, because they really don't. They don't have They just don't have any like real, you know, stuff that they're talking about, because it's not. Because they're talking last night about it. Let's see if I can find that clip. And that one lady, she got to do the rebuttal or whatever.
I didn't listen to it.
I didn't either. Let's see.
I don't even know who the hell she is. I don't even know. Never seen her before in my life.
No, she's new. She's brand new.
Why would you pick somebody new? Because they were throwing her under the bus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Let's see if I'm showing this correctly. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, they're going to go through it with him. I think they're going to. Let's see. Maybe let's see.
Needs to be done, so let's bring in CNN's Daniel Dale.
Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. Hush, go on. Go on. I was looking for that one I seen this morning where they're. Anyways, we can talk. But yeah, that's what I didn't understand. Why in the world would you do that? Hold up a sign and look like you're 5 years old.
I know. A bingo sign.
Bingo. I'm telling you, that showed, in my opinion, that showed, exactly who the Democrat Party is, who they're for.
Cringe. It makes you want to, anybody with two living brain cells that watch that had to think, what the hell is wrong with these people, man? What are these people? Are they grown-ups? Are they children? What the hell? What are these people, man?
Yeah. I mean, it's
if you're an American citizen, you're not going to be for your tax dollars going to these crazy countries with this, for gender surgeries and whatever the hell. It's ridiculous.
There, great little moment, DJ.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand it, because they really believe
for a kid that's got brain cancer. How can you not clap for a lady?
Yeah.
That got hit in the head and has brain damage. How do you not stand up how do you not clap? You say you're for women and all this stuff, and they're wearing the pink.
They also
but they don't
refuse to stand on.
About women. I don't understand.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. How do you claim that you're to protect young girls and women if you can't even, clap for the girl that's survived, or the mother of the girl that died that was abused by illegals? How do you not, you know what I mean? How do you not acknowledge that has nothing to do with Trump? This has to do with something that happened on your watch. You know what I mean? This happened on their watch, and they can't even acknowledge the fact that young 12-year-old out of Texas, Jocelyn, and the way she was abused and all that, the mother sitting up there in that stadium crying, and the sister, and them naming that animal zoo park after her in Texas. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't even stand and clap for that.
I mean, would not even. Yeah, let's show this real fast. What's up, Quick Shoe, Brown Chicken, Sick Bastard? Let's see. I thought I seen Buck or somebody come in. Or Brown Chicken, maybe. I don't know. Okay. All right. I didn't know. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Disgraceful Democrats. This one, if you didn't watch this is the very front. This woman's holding this sign up. Soon as Trump walks in down the aisle, and then a Republican from the other side of the aisle grabbed it and threw it. Yeah, he grabbed it out of her hand.
I don't see that.
I don't know if it's going to show it, but yeah, a Republican grabbed it and threw it completely out of her hand. Was mad. Someone's like, who is this lady? You know what I mean? They didn't even know who she was.
Some rather extraordinary Americans were in the gallery last night, Sandra.
Hold up your little paddles. What are you going to play pickleball?
What we're hearing from the White House this morning, Jackie.
Oh, there's memes everywhere. Yeah.
The president began by saying there's nothing he could do to make the Democrats stand, applaud, or smile, and the Democrats proved him right. And it started from the top. House and Senate Democratic leaders
proved to the American
not joining
people too,
the escort committee for the president. They also reportedly reportedly endorsed the plan not to clap,
Yep.
which White House officials say
They were going to do this
backfired.
before.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
They knew
posting
they were
this
going to
to
do all
X.
this, but
Democrats
Joaquin
reminded us
Jeffries
they're
told
the
them not
party
to
of
do it.
insanity and hate. They could not even clap for a child battling
See?
cancer or
Yeah.
mothers who lost their children.
That's what makes
Several
me
Democrats
irritated.
turned their back to the president in the
Yep.
chamber, held up signs saying false, Musk steals. One read, "This is not normal." And many walked
Yeah.
out, posting videos and photos
Look,
about it.
this is when-
Communications Director Stephen Chung replied, "And nobody even noticed or cared.
Yeah.
You are as relevant as an expired coupon." Another group of straight-faced Democrats equating this to the civil rights movement, to which Deputy Chief of Staff Taylor Budowich said, "I don't see how Republicans could lose an election ever again." But one moment Democratic leadership did not want to see was
See?
this.
Get him out, they said. Get him out. They should never lose again.
Directed to uphold and maintain
The way the Democrats acted? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till the
President
state.
announced a lot of news in his joint address, including
Wait till his first State of the Union. They'll do the same damn thing.
Well, then they'll
that
sell
the
themselves
ISIS
again.
bomber
Yeah.
They'll never be
allegedly
in power
responsible
again.
for killing
No.
13 U.S. service members, that Abby Gate is headed to the U.S. to face
And he
justice.
broke that news,
But there
too.
was no news on a timeline.
That they
for
got the
Ukraine
guy that
rare
was in
earth
charge of
minerals
that.
deal, despite the president praising Zelensky's efforts to reset relations after the Oval Office meltdown
Look
last
at him.
week.
He likes
This
to have
morning we
fun. He
learned
don't
the U.S.
care.
suspended intelligence sharing
Nothing
along
wrong
with
with
the
that.
pause
No.
on military aid.
You're that age? Why not?
President Trump had a real question about whether President Zelensky was committed to the peace process.
Yeah, I don't think
and
he
said,
is.
let's pause. I want to give you a chance to think about that. I think on the military front and the intelligence front, the pause.
Let's see.
The mother, the 95-year-old mother of a
Yeah.
hostage in Russia, and promised
They wouldn't
her,
even
"I'll
clap
get
for
your son
that.
back," and then he
I
delivered.
know.
They wouldn't even
Everybody
clap for the
he
guy
introduced
that they
last night,
released.
that were the special
Trump
Americans
had to
that were
get him
there.
out.
That whether
Yep. And then this lady,
and I wanna get your
she
reaction.
spoke crazy.
Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly
Oh my
doesn't think
God!
we should
you're
lead the world.
Well,
Oh,
she's
you-
doing
Look,
talking
America
point.
is not
You-
perfect.
you should have
But
heard her
the
whole thing.
majority of Americans who believe we are
I listened to it
still
this morning.
What's your reaction to that?
I ain't got
Well,
no time to
she must have
crazy lady.
everybody that was in.
I mean,
that chamber,
that rebuttal, that's
was
what she had.
listening, and everybody in America that was listening last night could only say one thing: it's an inspiring
Yep.
vision of where the country's going.
This is their approval,
And-
though, if you really want to know it. Right here.
Yeah, that's bad.
21% disapproval, 68. That is bad.
That's bad. They're done.
This is the way they're handling their job. Yeah.
Well, they gotta switch course. They gotta go in a different.
Do you
direction.
think they could, though?
last-
I mean, do you really think
They'll
that
have
they could?
to. I think what's going to happen to force them to move
Since
center,
then-
more center and moderate is they're going to lose the midterm elections and they're going to lose another presidential election, and then they'll probably
Somebody-
start to rethink. their
Somebody's
party.
going to wake them up. Yeah. Somebody
Yeah,
in their
somebody's
party's going
gonna
to wake them up and say, hey,
Yeah.
we just
You gotta
lost
go
the
to the center.
midterms. We just lost
go to the
the
center.
election. Yes. We're going to have, let's see if,
And
I
and
think-
what he's done, and
I wish
the
they'd
amount
show
of
that part
energy
where
he's pouring into leadership.
that guy rips
and-
that
and
sign out of that
setting
woman's
clear
hand.
direction in these
I
executive
don't know if it
orders,
will, but-
holding people accountable.
See that guy
empowering
right there?
and recruiting great
Bald-headed?
leaders. I mean, this is
Standing
this is
up
a
there clapping, he's the one that did it.
in how to transform our country, and it's happening in real time. And I tell you, when together with
Yeah,
the
he
rest of
ri-
that
she ain't
cabinet,
got it
it's
right
so
now. He
exciting,
done ripped it out of her
because,
hand.
people are just supercharged.
Yeah,
about
he grabbed
everything
it and
that's
threw it.
happening right
And then
now
this
that's
is
moving
what
America
irritates
forward.
me.
So So
Yeah.
thanks
Thanks for coming on.
Most
This
delivered.
boy.
That was more than 6 years ago.
When you can't even stand up and clap for an 11-year-old kid,
Yeah, there's something wrong with the man.
this is what exposes them too. The whole night. Look at them. There was a couple
I
that
am
clapped,
asking
but
our new
they wouldn't stand
Secret
up.
Service Director, Sean
Look.
Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States.
Look at his eyes.
Secret
His
Service.
little eyes got big as crap in it. You know he gives that guy a hug too. Watch him.
That's awesome.
That's human. That's natural. That's
Cool stuff. Good moment.
Yeah, that was.
Sean Curran is the man who was on stage in Butler, Pennsylvania last summer.
Yeah, now
that's how it should be.
Okay,
you know?
so there you go.
That's how it should
done
be.
There, team. All right, want to move to this because there is breaking news. Let's get to it from the courts.
Let's
the
see.
U.S. Supreme Court upholding a judge's order that could force the Trump administration to resume foreign aid payments.
They
A lot of this
can't do
has to
that.
do with USAID.
That's what they're doing.
Shannon Bream is on that.
The judge,
Shannon, what
yeah.
happened?
They can't
Okay,
do
so
that.
this is one of the very first things from this term to make it fully to some kind of decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. And this is
They
about
shouldn't be
foreign
allowed to
aid that
spend
was
their
ordered to
money
be
like
paid
that.
out by a lower court judge. There were groups who take in USAID money,
See?
and they had gone and said,
They're
listen,
gonna get
this
their
freeze
way.
is harming us. And they went to the district court judge, that lower court level, and he said, yes, the government has to pay this out. It went through the appeals, got to the Supreme Court. They, by a 5-4 vote today, say they
5-4.
won't put that judge's order on hold, but they've told that lower court, now you need to explain to the Trump administration
Yep.
exactly what money you want them to pay out.
Exactly.
The dissenters, led by Justice Alito, also with Thomas, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh, which
That's
means
horse
that
crap,
Chief
ain't it?
Justice Roberts and Justice Barrett did side with the Democrat
Oh,
appointees
my
on the
God.
court. They've said they're dissenting, and let me read you a little bit of this. They say the court makes a most unfortunate misstep that rewards an act of judicial hubris and imposes a $2 billion penalty on American taxpayers. They say the relief that's been ordered to pay this money out is an extreme response. It says a federal court has many tools to address a party's supposed malfeasance.
So what they need to do, in my opinion, like you said, they need to be Pacific.
Going to be an interesting.
They need to be Pacific.
$45 million for diversity.
They need to be Pacific.
Age over 160
They need
years
to
old.
be Pacific.
On X, he said that time he delivered the sword of justice for the American people, justice for Abigail Terry.
Yeah, well,
Everything
let's
he
stop
can.
that there. Anyways, they need to be, that's what I at least he said, hey, you need to actually tell him what this is going to. You know what I mean? Yeah, I figured they'd do it too, Jamie.
Well,
Good to see you.
what happened was they don't have to do it. They have the Dems have to come back and say specifically what they want the money. What they want him to start doing. So they can't just go restart sending everything out again. They have to specifically say what they want, where they want the money to go. So it ain't a total loss. It's just, but that was a cheap Roberts. That guy, he ain't no Republican Supreme Court guy.
Yeah.
He is, but he goes more left than anything, man. That guy needs to go. I'll be glad when he retires. I can't stand him. He used to be pretty strong for the Republican side, conservative, but he went off the rails. I don't like that guy at all. I don't like him.
I just think that, and there's sorry, my mother was messaging
No,
me.
you're good.
There's some Republicans I don't like. I mean, they're just rhino. They're stuck in there. But it's not that I dislike everybody in office and all that. It's just I don't trust any government. You know what I mean? Like they don't really tell us the truth on anything. They don't know. They only want us to. Show us what they want us to see.
Yep.
And 9 out of 10 times, it's a battle back and forth. Like, we're into it with each other. Why? Like, hey, common sense, dude. Why are you arguing with me out here? Because that's what they want up there for us to do out here. So we're not focused on actually living and having a good life. And we're not focusing on what they're doing corrupt because they're in their mansions and gated communities and stuff. And, like you said, with the paddles, that's got to be the most childish thing that people can do. And like I said,
horrible,
I think it completely, Trump exposed every
he did
detail
exactly what he wanted to do. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to expose them for what they are. He wanted the American people to see what they are, that they have no kindness toward the heart of those people that were
injured. And if they don't have
no kindness, they have no respect for women. Those women don't even have respect.
Yeah.
They don't have respect.
And if they don't have a respect enough for a kid with cancer or those parents that lost their kids, man. They wasn't clapping for Trump. They would have been clapping for that family,
Exactly.
That showed, I believe that that should show the American in the whole world that those people don't care about anybody outside their little chamber, their little office.
If I was a Democrat sitting there and I didn't agree with Trump, that's fine. But my ass would have been standing up and clapping for all the rest
exactly.
Of the stuff.
There was one woman in a pink jacket that stood up and clapped when he said one thing, and I forget which one it was, but she stood up and clapped, and I was shocked because I was like, and and it may have been for the kid or for.
Well, they're scared. A lot of them are scared because they'll cancel them. They'll get rid of them.
And well, you know what? Here's the thing: they're getting rid of themselves. Right here is what Trump's done. Come midterms, like he said, if they don't vote on that tax cut and stuff, they're going to be they're like just like he said, you're not going to have a future. You're not going to be here because nobody's going to vote you in because guess what? You're voting against American people's money. It's one thing to vote to go against the American people, but there's a lot of people out here that care about their money, and when you start messing with someone's family or money, hey, you've messed up. That's where you go wrong when you start messing with money, with someone's money. Because hey,
well, their well-being. That's our.
We don't have what they have, and we don't have enough to do what we all want to really do. So we have to scrape. And I don't care if you're good off or middle class or whatever. We still struggle. All of us. I don't care if you're middle class, poor like me, whatever. You know, I'm not completely dirt poor, but I'm not middle. I'm right below middle. But here's the thing, and I don't care to admit it, man. I don't have everything I want. Do I have a brand new car and a motorcycle sitting in the driveway because I can afford it? No, I can't afford that. Do I have a brand new nice home and stuff? No, I don't have that. I can't afford it. But I'm not like dirt poor. I'm eating. I'm paying my bills. You know, we have things if we need it. We can go. We just can't go, luxury shopping and things like that. I have decent credit, but the thing is,
it's not even about all that.
No, but when they start messing with the people's money, though, here's the thing: people don't have extra money just to have lavish vacations, and that's what people work for. Though they want to save that money to actually have a little bit of wiggle room and fun and have to spend money.
People have been living off their credit cards, man.
Yeah,
credit card debt.
And what are they going to do when they can't pay it? I mean, what are these people going to do?
Trillions and trillions of dollars in credit card debt because they had to use credit cards and make it through the Biden administration.
Yeah. So,
just to pay their bills.
And the credit card companies ain't going to wipe their credit clean. So they're going to be stuck in a hole. And if you're in debt, but if you're in debt on credit cards, like some people big time, 80,000, 100,000,
Trump did say he wanted to he wanted the credit card companies for a certain length of time to cut the interest rate off of it.
That would be nice,
So let's see if he does that.
Yeah, but that's a gamble to say, hey, I owe this much, I don't owe that much, and I owe 50 grand. I'm in debt 50 grand on my credit cards. Hopefully somebody's going to pay it off. No, that ain't how it works. But you have to pay it off. But here's the thing. There is a difference when he cuts the rates because the rates should fall down.
That's what he's talking about.
But you still owe money, though. You still owe that credit card. And if you don't pay it, guess what? They trash your credit. You're done. You'll never be able to take a loan, buy another vehicle or any of that. And they know that. They know they got you to pay them for the rest of your life if you owe that much, And it's like a no-win situation with, and that's what I'm saying. When they start messing with the American people's pocket money, because we know they're going to take our taxes no matter what. But when they start taking, messing with their pocket money like that, that's when the American people, I believe, or some of us, will say, wait a minute, no, they won't get voted in because when they vote against the tax cuts, some people, they're like, hey, that $10 extra is going to help, you know what I mean, or whatever. I mean, some people, I'm saying, though, there's people out there, though, that just, that extra $20, $50.
If they see them voting against tax cuts, American people is not going to like that, It does hurt them. It hurts.
I just think they completely messed up last night. I think that's just them. I don't think they messed up. I think that's just the way their beliefs are. That's who they are.
Trump was there.
They don't care.
For that purpose. That purpose.
The struggle
to show
is real
the American
quick.
people what they're about. That's what he did last night. He wanted to do it in front of national broadcast in front of the whole country and for the whole world.
And it was smart.
He showed them what they're about. He showed
He's
everybody
smart.
what the Democrat Party is about.
There's a reason he does this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a calculated risk, but it pays off for him.
He's smarter than they are.
Yes.
And they played into his hands. They played
exactly,
into his hands.
Exactly. They walked right into that pile of shit because I can tell you right now, seriously, they stepped in it without a boot on because he set that up, and I'm telling you, he knew it was going to be aired across the world. I've seen other news. I follow BBC and other, Australian news and things. They say, I'm telling you, they show American news. More people watch American news over there than they watch their own news. They do. They like to know what's going on here. And that's why the legacy media, those old, those big old, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox and all them, they're big in those countries too. And they really are. And people watch them. So he did that, like we said. We believe he did it on purpose, which I think he wanted to hold the meeting anyways. He just wanted to acknowledge some things and stuff like that. But he took that calculated risk. He's strategic. He knows what he's doing. He freaking exposed them so the whole world can see him because he knew it was going to be run on every broadcast station live, every podcast station. There was so many podcast people trying to share it. I seen them, they were getting cut off and all this, and because it was live, you can't run unless you pay for certain things. And I don't know if you can even do that because a lot of people will not let you share things if their if their channel is live streaming. You're not supposed to be able to share that stuff, so, but you can share certain parts of videos and certain videos if the channel allows it. Like the other night, it hit John on a copyright and all that stuff because the History Channel and the Monster Quest or whatever that is.
Monster Quest was okay.
The History Channel is the one that you'll have issues with. So if you look anything up, don't look it up. Don't expect to share a clip or anything like that from the History Channel because which I did let it play for a few minutes, so that may be why too. I didn't let it just.
It is what it is. We cut it out. We move on.
But what do you think they're going to do? Where do you think they're going to go? No, honestly, they're going to come out. Of course, we know they're already on the outlets and their social medias on X and everything. They're already saying, a bunch of crap that, Trump, they didn't even have nothing to say. Like they're trying to make up stuff, like, the cost of eggs and all this, and all this. And they were supposed to bring in a ton of empty egg cartons.
Well, they weren't allowed
to protest. No, well, Joaquin Jeffries told them don't do it. They said that he told them because he's the leader of their party since Nancy Pelosi stepped down or lost or whatever, and stepped down and him stepping up. He should have told him, look, why don't you act your age and act like a damn human being? And he didn't even clap. He didn't stand up. He didn't even. Yeah, it would have looked better for them to say we're with the American people. Yeah. They were completely. I looked around a couple of times. And I would have thought I was there. I was into it so damn much in front of my TV. I was like, what the hell? There were old people. Of course, they're all old. It's like a big nursing home up there. But there were 2 or 3 of those Democrats that were sleeping. They were sleeping, dude. And I was like, damn. If Joe Biden would have been there, he'd have been sleeping.
He'd have been like.
And like Trump said, imagine if Kamala would have won. Imagine what she would have been standing up there saying, going in circles. Exactly. We would still be funding Ukraine with hundreds of billions of dollars. That would have never stopped because Zelensky or whatever his name is, Ukraine's president, he would have been right back over here. I think he'd have been over here before he came now. If she would have won, he'd have been over here within the first week. And demand like he did with Joe Biden because he demanded, and they said Joe actually got ill with him on the phone and had to get hateful and loud with him and say, hey, Stop trying to demand, you know what I mean? He wants to demand stuff. And that's why I believe Trump allowed that to go public the other day, because he exposed him just like he exposed the Democrats last night. He exposed him just like that. And I swear, Trump's smart. If people say, he's a bully, he's beating him up, he did that. No, go watch the whole 50-minute interview. Zelensky's, irritating them, disrespecting them, just huffing and puffing, rolling his eyes every time they said something, blah, blah, blah. But not just that. I believe Trump knew to expose, because guess what? He knocked him back down to the level he should have been at to start with, thankful and grateful. You know what I mean? He should have been grateful to start with, and then instead of coming over here and demanding, hey, we want you to, fund us for an endless war and blah, blah, blah. No.
Trump told him, look, you're not working with Biden. You're not working with Obama.
Yep.
You're working with me. You're not working with them. So you have to adjust to what leader you're dealing with. And you're not dealing with Biden or Obama.
Like you said.
You're dealing with me.
Excuse me. Yeah. And not only that, when you're a country going up against a country with nukes, with nuclear power, it doesn't matter if the UK supports you for 100 years and money and military stuff and boots on the ground. You cannot win a war. It will be endless if they keep on like that, because that's what I think, like Trump said, they want, dude, you're fixing to start World War III with nuclear war because you won't hush. You know what I mean? What is that what you want? Because that's what in my opinion, he thinks that we're going to stop him from we're going to stop Russia from using nukes. And because he's like, you're going to have to put your men, your sons and daughters will be there fighting and dying. No. And then you're going to feel the pressure and all that. No, we're not, because we're not you. We're not part of you. We're not part of your country. Yeah, we have an ocean between us. But first of all, I understand Russia invaded, but these people have been going back and forth since, what did they say, 2014 or 11 or something like that? They signed the agreement. For years. But here's the thing, what they did. Ukraine people went and put up a yellow caution tape around this land and said, we're Ukraine now. We're not Russia, even though they were. They're Russian. They're not Ukrainian. There's no such thing as a Ukrainian. It's They're Russian.
Well, yeah, it is.
They're just they created. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's funny how
Ukraine was part of Russia. Ukraine was Russia.
It was Russia. Yeah, and they branched off and said, okay, we want to be called Ukraine. We're not Russian no more. We're Ukrainian, and they still speak the same language. They still do this and that. But the thing is, you're going to go against. You're the big city, you're out in the country in a county, pretty much, the land they got. And then, like I said, they've been going back and forth since like 2011 or 14. And he's like, Putin, he broke the we had peace agreements and deals, and he broke it. Yes, he did break the deal. I get it. Yeah. But guess who was the leader of our countries when he did it?
Right. And that's
Obama, Biden. Trump saying, "Hey,"
Trump said when I was.
I'm not weak. I'm not weak.
Wait a minute. Trump said to him, "When I was there for 4 years, Russia did not invade you. That happened under Biden, and the treaties that Putin broke before that was under Obama. Trump was trying to say, look, nobody messed with you when I was president." And if you sign this deal now, nobody will mess with you again as long as I'm president. And he wouldn't listen. Yep. So that's what the problem was.
Because he wasn't ready for peace. I don't believe he's still ready for peace. I think he's still.
I think there was some language barrier stuff.
Yeah, I do believe that too. But I also believe that
what was being said.
Yeah, well, then he needs he's got a translator. Why ain't he translating the whole thing? That was
my whole point. I didn't think any of that should have went down in that press conference in the Oval Office. I think none of that. There was not proper for anybody to go into those things in front of the American people, especially the media. Yeah. That should have never happened. In my opinion, Trump should have put a stop to it.
Yeah, it should have never got out of hand like that.
But
it may have been good.
That being said, it did expose a lot of what.
Yes, it exposed him for where's the money? You know what I mean? Where's all the money?
Where's my money?
Why does your wife wear $5,000 to $10,000 gowns every time she travels? Why is your home worth $80 million?
Yeah, where my
you know what I mean? Like, really? Why is your clothing that you wear your own clothing line? It's his brand clothing. He created his own clothing line, military clothing line of his outfit he wears. That's why he wears it all the time. Money. Yeah, money. So my mother, I disagree with her. If you're watching, Mom, I don't. You can't ban people, Mom. You can't. That's called democracy. I know you don't want to hear it because you're a Trump supporter, and I get it. My mother texted and said, because she was at church last night, and she's a Christian lady, and we all are, but she's a very Christian lady, and she says, I know you're probably on your podcast thing. She missed Trump's speech because I was at church. Okay, I listened to it. She's been listening to it back and forth on Fox News, and I told her, I said, you got to watch it all. You can't just watch, just clips, because clips will make you mad, and that's the problem with media, even social media. You just watch the clips that people want to show and expose, and that's it. You don't get to watch stuff. And just like I said with with the interview, with Zelensky and that the other day we were talking about, you can't. They just showed the last 10 minutes. You can't go on that. Go watch the whole 50-minute interview. I'm telling you. Then you'll see why Trump and JD Vance and all them was getting frustrated.
Right.
And then she says, okay, could they not ban any Democrat from going to that speech?
No, you can't.
No, Mom, it's called democracy.
Yeah, you can't ban them.
I know. I said, no, you can't do that. She said, I know, but I think that Republicans should ban them from going and them act like they did. They shouldn't be allowed there, which my mother's 71, not to out her, but she's lived a long life and she has her own opinion. And I agree that she's allowed to think that and say that, hey, don't even allow them in there.
They did.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And that's why I told her she needs to watch the whole thing because they do have order. They have to have some kind of order because if not, we would have got, every one of them would have been running their mouth all night. See, and we know Al Green there, he's going to say something because within a week or week and a half, he already had impeachment stuff going on against Trump. Trump hadn't even had time to wipe his ass in there, and he's already trying to impeach him. It's like, Medicare, like, dude.
Nobody's even.
It's been over a month. Trump has not even touched Medicare or any of that stuff. No,
fraud.
Trump's not stupid. He has advisors around him.
He's not going to take your Medicare away. He's going to take the fraud away from Medicare. So Medicare.
He's going to clean that crap out. The stuff in between the toenails. He's going to clean the gunk out of it, and then it's going to open up room so people can actually have access to it, or it's going to be better. I mean, it's not. He's not getting rid of it. I mean, I've got some friends in other countries, and even Canada. They're like, dude, you do not want that freaking government medical health care where the government, you know what I mean, where they pay for everything. You just go, because you'll wait 6 months just to be seen for anything, or whatever. You can't get in to see, an appointment. God help you if you have emergency because you're not going to be seen, or any of that.
Right.
What's up, American Uncensored? But yeah, it's like, and I get her, I get my mother's point. I get it, but
I get it.
she needs to watch the whole thing, like I told her. But she needs to see that there is law, there is order in the house, and that was another thing I was talking about because little old speaker there, he's a weenie. Let's just say it. Yes, he's a Republican. Yes, he's. I'm not judging him as a person. He's a good man. He's a Christian man. He's loyal man. Like I've heard it from a lot of them up there say, he's just a great human being. Like he cares about things and his family and people and other people. But when it comes to, kind of being the tough guy, he's not. He's the little nerdy guy in school with the glasses, and he's the weenie kind of, But that's okay because he has his advantages in certain areas. But he just wanted, like, I think he should have spoke up a little quick. He was trying to speak up and say something before he grabbed the gavel, when Al Green, he did okay, but when Al Green started going at it, he let him do it 2 or 3 times before he actually even spoke up because Trump was kept talking. Well, he did. He warned him and said, "Sit down, sir. Sir, just sit down."
Give him a chance.
Yeah, he gave. And he did. He gave him a chance.
The Democrats wouldn't have gave you a chance. They'd have just.
Exactly. They'd have said, if that would have been a Republican.
He has to act better than that. He has to give him a chance. And he did. And he's kept it up. So
he didn't want to hush.
Yep.
But here's the thing. How do you feel if me or you as a Republican or you may not be a Republican. I'm just saying, if we were sitting up there on the Republican
I'm
side
an independent
and we got
conservative.
up around their mouth, I believe I'd have been thrown out quicker than, I don't think I'd have got a warning, or any of those Republicans up there.
Got a warning. You'd have been shot. No.
But I don't remember any of those people except for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, I'm not going to say they're perfect, because they're not, because Marjorie Taylor Greene and one other person, they screamed out during Joe Biden's speech, Lincoln Riley, say her name. They did.
Yeah,
they interrupted, but that was
was
something serious, like, death and tax. You know what I mean?
That
That was
there with little signs going, with these little signs saying, you're false, or yelling.
I mean, they look like they were all going out for a midnight, one of those games,
Bingo,
what I said.
Bingo.
No, that bingo. Or either a bingo paddle or what's that? I just said earlier, that ball where they hit like a tennis court.
Oh shoot, I can't even think of it now, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean they're
ping pong.
No, paddleboard or something, or paddle ball or whatever.
Those old people couldn't play that game. They couldn't even move around the court.
They all had their paddle boards, or whatever. Like they're going to go play some table tennis or something. If you know what that's called, American Center, is that paddle ball?
No, it's ping pong. Ping pong.
No, I ain't talking about ping pong. I'm talking about like they stand on a court and they're playing with those paddles.
You're talking about squash. You're talking about squash.
No, not squash.
Yeah.
No.
That's where they have the little black ball and they're in that room and they're smacking it against the wall.
No, there's like 5 different ones. I'm talking about the new thing that's really big hitting right now. Yeah. It's a really big deal right now. It's called something. I don't know. I thought it was called paddleball or something.
I think you're losing it.
But I think this was seriously, like, I believe that this was a good start, to his, and like people are saying, hey, I watched another little interview, if I could find it. They're like, hey, give him time. He's not, you know what I mean? Like, please wait. You're rushing stuff. You can't. Here, let me get this up here for just a second. And I don't want to show this clip too much, but it's someone else's channel. And it's okay. I don't think I'll get hit. But this guy is a Republican, and this girl and these people are Democrats. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this up here. Well, shoot far. I got to get back over to
your mom's Democrat. This is not your dad's Democrat.
Well, here's the thing, man. They don't get, because they're and I'm not trying to judge, but here's the thing. Like, their stuff that they're pushing, they're so blinded by the American people, because they have such a little percentage that like that and agree with some of that woke stuff. They think the American people want that. Look, the American people stood up and put Trump in. Did they not?
80% of the American people don't want that bull crap.
Exactly. So why would you even, now these guys, I like these guys. These are the Carter family. That's what they call their college guys out of Louisiana. They're runners, track stars, or they were. That's what they said. They come from, doing a review videos in their college dorm rooms and their house now to Washington, because they've met the president. They've been to all these. They got big on YouTube. They got a pretty big channel. Pretty good guys. I watch them quite a bit. If you listen to them, they're so funny. That's why I like, because they're funny. Listen to this.
Groceries, egg prices haven't gone down since Trump took office.
Give him a little bit of time.
See?
When you come back in a year.
Years,
let's look at the halfway point, because we all know everything takes time.
So CNN's doing this interview thing, and he catches it real quick, this guy right here talking, and he's fixing to get interrupted, or he's fixing to get, a little irritated.
Well, he promised it on the first day.
Oh, okay.
You can't do that on the first day, you idiot.
He also.
Well, this is why the Democrats can't see. He promised my eggs was going to be $3 now on the first day. Well,
what he meant was, in his speeches, was that's what he'll start doing on his first day.
Yes.
He'll start working towards
He'll start working on it. But like this guy saying, hey, come back.
On the first day. Anybody that didn't have 2 brain cells. There's something wrong with you.
Come back in a year,
He's still got to work on he's got to fix what Biden did. He's got.
There's so much stuff. There ain't no telling how bad it really is. But listen to
it. It would probably be a little more painful to start with. But it would get better.
Yeah.
We got to get him.
Everybody's waiting on that.
Well,
You talking about
See, this old
contractors? Elon's a contractor too. Who looks into him?
there needs
Nobody,
to be
the
somebody.
president.
Nobody questions his bill.
President
Yeah, he
does.
does.
Trust
President
Elon
does.
Musk. He's a
Absolutely.
government contractor. He's got business interests,
Y'all remember
whether
her?
in defense, internet, that kind of thing. He's also admitted to drug use. He smoked pot on a
Oh, that's hard drugs.
As like a stable,
What about
rational,
Biden's
reasonable
son with
person.
the
So he did.
white powder? Come on.
They fail to acknowledge that though, right? You know, he was smoking crack with the prostitutes in hotel rooms. But Elon took a hit off of a joint, so he's the evil person, you know. This is how the Democrats.
See that lady right there? She's being paid. They're being paid to say that stuff.
Yes, oh yeah. And this old dude is an old Democrat sitting at this table, and this is why you can't get nothing changed.
There's no way that old dude right there is going to vote for Carmella or Biden. I'm telling you right now.
You don't
He's
think
not
so?
From that generation. No, he's not from that generation.
But
being
he
paid.
argues. Listen, he argues.
Yeah,
with
but
him,
he's
and
being paid to do it, man. These are paid actors to do
There's
this.
got to do something. Well, CNN, first of all, is filming it, so you know somebody. But this big guy, listening to him, he's fixing to get irritated.
In this job.
He calls her out. He says, "You're one of them, ain't you?"
Hey, he's a Republican. You
See?
ain't gonna talk him out of that.
He's a Republican. You ain't gonna talk him out of that.
Y'all sitting here trying to bash
I
one
ain't
man for what,
bashing that.
99% of this country, Republican or Democrat. Corbett, this whole dadgum town smokes pot.
Yeah.
You're part of the Democrat Party
No,
in
I'm
my
not.
book.
The conversation developed quickly. We had not anticipated the emotional connection we already felt with Musk.
Pot smoking. This is over with. He said on TV and smoke pot.
Yes,
Well, I don't care. I'm saying it don't matter. But that makes him unqualified to do a job.
I'm just saying, does it?
Exactly. Why does that make him unqualified to do a job? Because he smoked a joint.
Yeah, I mean, she's coming in here with ignorant arguments. She's
Listen.
talking facts. I can prove you a Democrat by the level of ignorance that you portray.
See?
Donald Trump,
You're for
Elon
the
Musk,
immigrants.
Please drain the swamp. While you there, get the job done.
Yep.
Please.
I like him a lot. Probably go down the drain with it.
Drain
See?
that swamp, baby.
Did you hear that guy though? He said you go down the drain with it. You know, that old dude, the other old dude said you can go down the drain with it. You know, that's how they talk. Old or not, Democrat, young, gotta be. The old dude, the girl, we know that. I knew the girl was because at CNN they set it up, but they wanted a real Republican to see what he was going to say, and like he said, you know, he's sitting there saying, "I could tell you was one of them. You're one of them, ain't you?" You know, and he said it don't matter what you tell, they're not going to believe you. You know, like he said, you're not going to believe what I say. You're talking out your ass, and I'm talking facts. You know, basically. And,
I don't care
And
if you
so-
smoke pot. I don't care if
I
you
don't
drink
either.
alcohol. I don't do crap.
it ain't my
man.
business what he does, but when he goes into there and
That don't
empties,
make you unqualified.
exactly.
You know?
When you're doing a job because you smoked a joint a month before that, or 2 months, or
Who
a
on
year
here-
before that.
Who on here hasn't smoked the joint?
Well, here's the thing. I've never seen him advocate for it. I've never seen him sit around and smoke constantly. He took a hit from Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like I seen him take 1 or 2 hits. I know, but I'm saying he's not on X saying here showing pictures and.
Nancy Pelosi, she's an alcoholic. Most of the Democrats are all alcoholics.
Oh yeah, dude.
That
They
don't
said the
matter.
stench could knock you down if you walk by certain
That
ones.
don't matter. They come to the floor and vote drunk.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Come on.
Just
You
like
can't
what's
talk
his
about
name,
Elon
the Republican
smoking
called
a
him
little
out.
weed. Come on, man.
Yep.
Give
Like
me a
that
break.
Republican called that one guy out saying, you
Yeah.
mean you've never come here late at night to vote and been at the bar and drinking?
Yeah,
You're
he
full
said,
of
I
shit.
I call every one of you guys out. You've
Yep.
all been here drunk. You know,
Yep.
you've all been
Everyone,
here drunk.
and not only that, this is what irritates me. They got a slush fund to get their asses out of trouble when they do sexual stuff or cheat on their wives or they, abuse
And he said
women.
that too. He said, all you cheat
Yes.
on your wives too. All
Yep.
of you do.
Every one of them do.
How
Not
many of
just.
you he said, how many of you have in here have been caught cheating on your wife, got divorced, and you're still a senator? But
Yep.
you want to say just because this guy has had some kids.
This guy's cheated on his wife once.
Yeah,
He's
whatever.
unqualified. So what makes him qualified? What makes
Then
you qualified,
they need
not
to spend-
him?
They need to walk out of the Senate then because
Yeah.
they're not qualified.
Exactly. Everyone. Well, I don't think they are anyways. If they're pushing that
Well,
bogus
I don't
stuff and that crazy shit, how are they?
Yeah.
Because they were a lawyer, because they went to law school. That makes them qualified to be a politician. No, that just means they're corrupt and they want to. If you're a politician, 90% of the time or 98, and now this is just my view. There's a lot of corruption in both sides, every which way you want to look. Even the ones that are hired that sit at home on a computer to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or more through the USAID or whatever, they're corrupt. You're not doing a job. You're not doing what's best for America. You're doing what's best for
let's
you.
Let's be fair. There's a lot that are corrupt that work for the government. There's a lot of Republicans that are corrupt. There's a lot of Democrats that are corrupt. The only reason that they're working with Trump this time is because Trump, they know they ain't got no choice. The Republicans have no choice but to work with him this time, or they would be screwed.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of them would be against him.
So that's why I used to be a member of the Republican Party. I was really a member. I used to donate to the Republican Party. I used to do all that stuff. Yeah, I did. But now I left the party. I sent them a letter saying I left the party. They asked me why. I said, because I can't trust you. I said, you're no different than the Democrats.
Exactly.
I said, you're no different. Let us prove to you. I'm like, no. I went out and voted for you. I went out and voted for you in the midterms so you would take that money from Obamacare, and you didn't. You voted right on to keep it going. So I was like, no, I'm done with you. So I'm an independent conservative. That's what I am. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican.
That's me. I live at home. I raise my.
I'm an independent conservative. That's what I am.
Yep.
Because I don't trust either one of them.
No, Lord, no.
Let's be honest. Before Trump, there wasn't a two-party system. There never was a two-party system. It was always a one-party system where, okay, the Dems would get 4 years and then the Republicans would get 8. And the Dems would get 8 years and the Republicans would get 4. It was all a scam, man. It was all a scam.
Yep. And that's what they had it set up. I believe they knew who they were. And he says, that's so little, I can't even read it. And they 100%, and they can't seem to understand that. Yeah. And they don't. They can't live. They don't see what we see from the outside. They can't see like us. You know what I mean? They can't. If they was out here like one of us and they hadn't been in government before, they would see it, but they can't see it because they're not able to.
They are controlled just like they want to control you.
Oh, yeah. They have people that, yes.
They'll cancel your ass. They'll throw you out of the Senate. They'll get rid of you.
That's why I think that they already know who's going to be running. They already know who's going to be winning. They already know what positions certain ones will be in, where they're putting them. Yep. And that's why a lot of them do those shaking hands behind closed door deals. They make so many deals with Democrats.
They're out there on the floor arguing with each other. The Democrats and Republicans sit there and argue with each other in the public. And then they go back behind closed doors having drinks together.
And lunch. And that's what someone called them out and said, why would you not tell the American people? You got the American people thinking y'all are like shooting at each other, hating each other, blah, blah, blah. But then you say, hey, we just went and had lunch with these people. Why not tell the people, hey, we got to work with these people. We have lunch with these people. We talk to these people. But no, they can't do that. They got to make it a fight. Why? So they can distract us. Our minds will be on their crap, us fussing about what they do and them fussing about what we do. So they can do their little dirty deals and all their stuff behind doors. And then, like I said, they go to steak dinners, chicken dinner, whatever you want to call it. They go out, they eat together, they drink together. They know each other. Some of them know each other real personal. They do these shady deals. Hey, you vote this way and we'll get this in here and we'll give you kickback. You know what I mean? They'll have money. This allow us to send this money over here to this place. And this is what we want. You know what I mean? Like full of shit, man. Yeah. And cause we're going to give so much to this company and they're going to give us a kickback, and then, hey, you get 5% of it, or 2%. I mean, that's why I said, I'm glad, hopefully they haven't got to JD Vance yet. You know what I mean? He'd only been up there 2 years. He was fresh, but they got to Obama. Look at him. He was only in there 2 years. They made him president, not the American people. Them people made him the president.
Well, no, the American people.
Well, you know what I mean. They voted him in. The first black bullshit.
Yeah, that's going to fix the racial stuff.
Gay dude.
And I think that he really wanted to do that, but they got to him.
He wanted his name.
They said, "Look, we got you elected. You're going to do what we say, or we're going to spill the beans about you."
And he did. And he came out $70 million richer. I mean, That's what I mean. He came out,
You're gonna take
bought
our
and
money
paid for.
and do what we said. That's
Yep.
what they did.
And they found him because he had only been there 2 years.
Well,
he
they
could
did the
talk.
same thing with Bush.
He was good at talking though. He could carry on he could talk good. No, I'm saying he could do a speech better than look at Biden. You know what I mean? He knew he was a smart enough guy. That's what I'm saying. He could put things together and bullshit his way through it.
My gut told me he was crap from day
Oh, he's always been crap in my book. But I'm saying to them, he was there, because they still like, oh, Obama. And like, dude, what did he do for anybody? He's got his own Chicago black people saying, wait a minute. This fool wouldn't even come to our church. He wouldn't even come down here. He wouldn't even do anything for our community,
When he chastised those black guys about voting for Kamala, that was the end of Obama's time.
Yeah,
Yes.
he lost any kind of sway he had ever. No, that's why I still haven't heard nothing about him or Michelle or nothing, because they're completely out of the picture, and they should be. They shouldn't be irrelevant. He's an ex-president. So what? You know what I mean? Like, so go on, live your life with your millions, because you've ripped us off long enough. I mean, go enjoy the money of our money that you've took. Oh, I'm getting paid $500,000 to speak at a college. Bull crap. That's stupid. Why? Because you got up there and ran the country for 8 years? That don't mean you're that important to have that kind of money. Here's a $20 million book deal. For what? So I can sit.
That lady that was his behind him, that she's the one that ran everything.
Yeah.
She was, what was her name? Valerie. What was her name? I forget her name. But she's the one that ran everything. She was in charge of it all.
I can't even think.
I forget her name, but yeah. It wasn't
no, I don't. Well, I don't believe it was either. I don't believe Bush was running things. I don't believe.
No.
There's too many.
That's why they wanted Trump dead, because they couldn't control him.
Yeah.
They can't control him.
And they really thought if they got him in prison or took him out, in my opinion, they really believed they were going to install Kamala or whoever, and they was going to run that part. They was going to run the country like they did with Biden. But Biden started getting kickback. You know what I mean? He started pushing back a little bit. I think not much. I think they had him so wired up in his brain he didn't know what was going on. He's some mush. I swear, I think half of his brain is mush and half of it ain't. Because there are times he would be like, I don't even know what's going on. And then at times he'd be like, hateful and all, like he used to be, like he always was his whole life. He was an ass and hateful and all that. But here's the thing. There's no telling what kind of papers and stuff they would put in front of him, and he would sign not knowing what the hell he would. Oh, sir, this is, such and such. Knowing damn well it probably wasn't, and he probably never read it. He probably just signed it because they advised him and told him, oh, this is this, And that's why, and then when you stand on TV and say, you can come to our country. We don't have borders, I'm going to let everybody in. You come here and you'll have a place to live, pretty much is what he said, basically when he was running. And them activists that's in there now, all the squad and all them AOCs and all them, they seen that as their opportunity to push all this stuff and this woke stuff and everything else. So, in my opinion, that's what happened. They got somebody in there that they knew they could, do things around and get around and get their own agendas pushed in there. But with Trump,
absolutely,
they knew with Trump, they were going to have a hard time. And I think they know now, okay, we're just going to have to deal with it for 4 years, and we're going to have, and they really think that they're going to go from there, like, if they keep on with the path they're going, which is fine with me, let them be squished, let them keep promoting their stupid stuff. The way I see it, you're right. They won't be in office again.
I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen.
But there's always going to be Democrats because they live in Democrat cities and Democrats vote them in.
I'm saying, as far as being president and in charge of, or in the House and the Senate, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. They're going to keep going what they're doing right now. They're going to lose in the midterms in the next midterms. Then they're going to lose again in the next presidential election, and then they'll wake up, and then they'll understand.
So 10 years.
Yeah, I'd say at minimum 10 years is what and then they'll wake up. They'll have no choice then. because they'll realize.
Can you imagine the people in 10 years that's going to be up there, though? Because Nancy Pelosi and all of them's going to be gone, either living or dead, either one, because they're 80s. You know, they're going to be gone. A lot of the older people. I hope he's gone. God, I don't know why he ain't went out. They're so power hungry, though, man. That's the thing. They're old as dirt. Even in their 70s, some of them's just, he said he's retiring. He's done when his time's up. He's walking out. Like, dude, but you got great grandkids, and you can't go enjoy them on the beach or their home or go have fun. You're worth, I think they said he was worth like $85 to $100 million. Maybe more. I'm not for sure. I thought it was like around 85.
But he's making as much as he can for his kids.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing though. But God Almighty, man, he ain't even got to enjoy that money or go and do anything with it. Now he's so old. He's scuffling around. He's falling. Like a lot of these I can't imagine to see in 10 years who's going to be in. I mean, is it going to be full of like AOCs and the squad, these other people? You know what I mean? Or is it going to be some? Because they're going to, I mean, literally, like people are trying to tell them, hey, you better wake up. You better put some common sense to your brain because you guys ain't going to have a party. I don't think they got a party now. They have no leader.
No, they don't.
They have no leader. And they think Kamala's going to come in and be their leader or, you know.
If they had a leader or a good leader, he would have said, get up and clap. About
stop this stuff and do it. Yeah, if Joaquin Jeffries or whatever would have been a leader.
He would have said, he would have said, look, not his policies, but if it's something like the kids or pro women or pro this or pro America, you got to stand up and clap.
Yep.
Now, you don't got to stand and agree with everything, and you can sit down on most things, but you've got to show some kind of respect, and you've got to show the American people that you care about them. That what they did last night is they showed the American people that the Democrats don't give two shits about you. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
And, well, not just that. It's, you know, like they're saying, oh, well, John Featherman, he's got some kind of common sense. He's looking strong for their leader. I'm like, dude, this guy had a stroke. You think they're going to put his goofy ass in ball shorts and a hoodie as a leader?
No.
Come on.
No.
There ain't no way. He can't even wear a damn suit. You think he's going to be a president or be the leader of the party? They don't want no AOCs. They don't want none of those people like that squad. And if they keep on, that's what they're going to get. They're going to get somebody ignorant like that, which is fine with me because people are not going to vote for them. I don't think people are going to just say, okay, we're going back to the Democrat Party now. You know, after Trump gets everything good and took care of within a couple of years, you know, and everybody starts doing better, hopefully, and all this starts easing up in the country and all this. Hopefully everything goes good enough where they say, okay, why did I vote Democrat my whole life? You know, you know what I mean? Like, and hopefully a lot of them that voted for Trump that are Democrat don't go back to voting Democrat, because here's where we got to get them. We have to get them to vote the down ballots, the down. Yes, okay, you voted for Trump, but then you still put a Democrat in from your you know what I mean? Governor, senator, all that. We need to get them to vote Republican on that. I mean, you imagine you know, like I said, there's going to still be, you know, so many because they live in blue cities, you know. They live in Democrat cities, Democrat run. They have all these funds, spend money.
I'm talking about they're not going to be in charge of the House or the Senate.
Yeah. But I like Trump saying, no more funds for you. This state, you're not getting any. If there's a boy in a girl's locker room or on the team, no more fun. If you're a funded school, you don't get no more money. If you're a state that's not letting me get the illegals out and you're fighting us, no more money. That's where it hurts them. When you start taking their money, because guess what? They know when that big time millions of dollars comes to their state, they can control where that money goes. They're the ones, not the people that live in that state. It's the damn governors and senators and things like that. They're the ones controlling where that money goes. Like, say you get $2 million for your, you know, for your state for, you know, a program, you know, veterans, homeless, just like California. Where did that $20 billion go, or 50, whatever he got? Gavin Newsom. Well, they give me $20 billion, and it got 10 times worse. What did you spend the $20 billion on? Exactly. Well, he put it to somewhere where he wanted it to go. He didn't put it in the homeless population. He could have fixed some of the stuff. He couldn't have fixed it all, but he could have done a lot with $20 billion with the homeless. I mean, he could have done something. He could have built more food places or housing to do, you know what I mean? Shelters or something. I mean, yeah, I know 20 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money. Was it 20 million or 20? It was 20 billion, wasn't it? I think it was 20 billion because 20 million wouldn't even have built one house. You know what I mean? Because it costs, and I hate to say that, but in California, if you build a homeless shelter, it probably cost you 10 million, you know? I mean, for one. So, I mean, money goes quick in big cities like that. You know, they charge, and you got to think it all runs down through the economy, like companies and construction companies, all this in the cities, they charge more. It's just more, you know, land's worth more, the ground. I mean, it's crazy how it works, but that's true. You come out here in the country, you can take 250 grand and buy you a piece of acre or 2, 5, and build you a freaking 4-bedroom, 2, 3 bath, nice big home. You go to the city or close in the cities and stuff, you're going to get an apartment, or you're going to build a house. You're going to spend 1.5 million, you know, not 250 grand. You're going to spend $1 million or more to build a home in the city or somewhere. So I don't know. I just think Trump did a good thing. I think he exposed, I think he knew what he was doing. I don't think he just said, hey, let's just address Congress. You know what I mean? I want to address Congress. I want to just have this meeting and look good with my ego. Yes, he has an ego. We all do. And Trump likes to, you know. One guy put it one way that was close to him. See, yes, Trump and this guy's been close to him for years. He said, yes, Trump likes to something his ego, you know, not rub his ego, but like cloud his, you know, his winnings and stuff. Yeah. Yes, but that's what makes Trump Trump, because he says, hey, we got the best of this. We're going the best of this, you know, and people are like, Trump's lying all the time. Why? Because he said we have the best numbers in history. That's where they get him at, because he's like, I don't know if it's true, but we've got the lowest recording records of the border, you know, of people coming over in the world, in the history. And they're like, he's lying. Now, if he would just say, hey, we've got the lowest numbers, you know, right now, we've got the lowest numbers, 20 years or whatever, But he always goes to the extent, and they start freaking out. Oh my God, Trump lies so much. He lies because he said in history, But it's like,
we always talk about the ego.
And it's true, but he's only had this past month.
You have to have a certain amount of ego, and you have to have a certain
you got to be a narcissistic, nasty person to be a politician. You got to be. I mean, the man's, he knows what he's doing, though. He's the best president, and Washington is number 2. Hey, I'll tell you what.
That's what he said, though. I thought
exactly.
that was funny.
Exactly.
That was funny.
Not only that, it's like, what's funny is,
he's not the best president we've ever
no,
had.
but I can tell you one thing. He's damn well up there. I'm surprised they don't try to put his face on that monument or something.
Reagan
or a statue.
would probably be my first pick.
Yeah, Reagan would have been great.
Abraham Lincoln would be another pick, you know.
But I'm saying, like, the way I think it's because the country was so, Joe Biden and all them has trashed this country so bad that they had no other option. Trump is a good
They've been trashing this country for 67
Well, I know,
years.
but Trump is a good, I think it's because his attitude. He's like, you know, I'll say what I
he's a
want,
good
do what I want.
president.
I don't
He
need
ain't the
your
best
money.
president
You
ever
can't buy me. You know what I mean? I think that goes along with his popularity. He had a number one, you know, show for what, 15 years, The Apprentice or whatever, 17 years. I mean, it was, you know, made him famous. I mean, he was already famous. He's been in movies. I mean, come on, Ronald Reagan was an actor. You know, he did a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, in my lifetime now, from what I've seen, Trump has been the best president in my lifetime, because Reagan was dead before I was born, I think, wasn't he?
When were you born?
1980.
Yeah, well, he was still in office.
Was he in office in 80?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, he must have died like a couple
He
years
died.
after.
Yeah, but he was in office.
I don't know what
till-
year he died in, but
He was in office till 88.
Are you
88.
sure?
Yeah. Because he
I
took
thought
over.
that was Bush.
No, he took over for Jimmy Carter in 78.
Oh,
He did two
okay.
terms. He did two terms.
Oh, okay. So 78 to 88.
Well,
Oh,
you're
yeah, I
young.
guess I was. I was 8 years old
You're
when
young.
he was. I didn't know because I was a kid, I guess, because I didn't know what a president
It was
was.
78. No, it was 80 to 88, somewhere around in there. But yeah, he was president. For 2
I knew it was
years.
like 1980 because they always said he was in the, he was the
great president.
80s, the great president of the 80s. But yeah,
They tried to kill him too, man.
Oh,
They
I
tried
know
to kill him.
they did actually shoot him, didn't they? They did actually get him though, didn't they? Or no? Didn't they shoot him in the stomach? or
Yeah,
something?
they shot him.
And-
He almost died. He almost
Yeah.
died, man. I remember that. And I was
Yeah,
just
he
a
had
kid.
most of the 80s. Then Bush came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But like I
Then
said, I think.
Bush Senior came in and he got 4 terms, and he was a loser.
Oh
Bush Senior
yeah.
was a loser, man.
See, I was still young. I was becoming a teenager in Bush, the first Bush.
You
And
weren't paying attention to none of that yet.
no, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't even living like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know anything
Well,
about
in
politics.
my household, we had to pay attention because my dad was big into.
See,
all
yeah.
political
Now, if
stuff,
we
so
would have had a
had to-
TV and mom would have had it on there, we probably would have watched the news or something like that. We
Yeah.
didn't know. We didn't know, man. We were always
My
outside.
dad was always going on about it, so I knew what was happening even as a kid.
I think that's good though, man. Like I was saying earlier, you don't have to dive into politics. You don't have to like politics. You don't have to hate them, but at
Just
least
pay
be aware of your of what is in your own town, your own state. You know what I mean?
Pay attention.
If you can't stand politics of the president or any of that stuff, I'm sorry. I like it. I love talking about it. Not just that, but I'd like to know where my kids' future is going. I'd like to know what's going to be going on in 10 years for my kids and my grandkids. I want to know and teach them to say, hey, don't get sucked in by these politics. Don't be stupid. You know what I mean? You believe what you do. They're corrupt, but you got to go with the lesser evil. You know what I mean? You have to,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention enough to know what's going on in your country, your state. I want to know what's going on in my state. I want to know what's going on in my town. I want to know what the rules are, the laws that I can go with and get away with. And yeah, and I want to know, I want to know that I'm not breaking the law every time I leave the state. I want to make sure that, these other states don't have some crazy effing laws. You know what I mean? And I mean, seriously, like you don't have to enjoy politics. You don't have to enjoy listening to people like me or anybody else that talks about politics. Don't take one person's advice, one news person. Get your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go through 2 or 3 different, 400. I don't care. Find your truth and what you believe. But yeah, I think it's crazy because everyone's like, God, I hate. As soon as you mention something about Trump, oh God, politics. Just because I say Trump's name or something, don't mean I'm going into politics or saying this or that. That doesn't mean I'm going to dive into politics. He is a part of American history now. He is completely going down in history, almost getting shot to death, assassinated twice. I mean, come on. That man will be in the history books forever now, like the other person said.
That reminds
completely
me.
going in history, and he's part of our life now. You might as well get used to it.
Wait a minute. Listen, that reminds me of last night too. And this was a very sad part of this whole speech he gave.
Yeah.
When he brought up being the assassination attempt.
Oh,
The
yeah.
The guy that lost his wife.
Corey Capator. Yeah.
Yeah, and his family was there. And those damn Democrats couldn't even stand for
That's
that.
why I said they wouldn't even stand up when
That
any of
is
those
horrible,
people
man. That is
he
horrible.
recognized any of those people that got
That
killed.
was horrible. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't even stand and clap for that, man. That
No.
lost his life protecting his family. What
None
the hell
of
is
them.
wrong with you people? That was bad.
That's why I said when he exposed them last night, that should have showed every freaking person in this country. Those people don't give a two, even Democrats. They should have showed Democrats. But see, they don't see it that way. They see it like, oh, they're taking a stand against Trump. It's all Trump derangement syndrome is what it is.
They're taking a stand against us.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the people out here like us that's Democrats though, like the people sitting there watching it at home that's Democrats, they're saying, yes, they're protesting against Trump. They don't like Trump, F Trump, all this shit. You know what I mean? But the way I'm saying is they're looking at it like, yes, we love the Democrats because they're holding up their signs and stuff. They're not even taking in knowledge that that person, they're not standing for that person's life that just lost.
Let's be truthful. There's only 20% of people cheering that over.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Even
I should say
Democrats,
that.
even Democrats don't agree with that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Democrats
So, yeah.
and then there's left wing crazy.
Well,
left.
exactly.
The blue
So,
Anon crap.
It's 80-20. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue anon crowd is the ones that are like that. There's normal Democrats out there. There's Democrats out there with common sense.
Yeah.
So,
no, there is, and I take that back. Facts will tell. And it is. It's 20-80. It's 20% of them. Yeah. Not all of them do, but the wacko doodles, they look at it as they're defeating Trump, though. The Trump derangement syndrome. Seriously, they've already took to social media that select few, that 20%, and 80% are saying y'all are crazy. This is disrespectful. Blah, 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 and I think it was completely disrespectful because that had nothing to do with Trump. Well, other than him being there at the rally. But what I'm saying is even the person that came, the prisoner from Russia and his mama, his 90-something-year-old mama, they wouldn't even stand and clap for none of that stuff. So I'm like, you can't clap for a 90-year-old woman,
There's something wrong with you.
Or a prisoner of just, Russia that's been released. Yeah, something is right. But is it the 20%? Right there in that chamber, though? I mean, is that just the 20%?
Well, now you got to understand that their party is telling them you're going to do this. If you don't do it, we're going to primary you, put somebody up against you that's going to do what we say and get rid of your ass. That's why they don't want to lose their free lunch, so they go along with the crowd. That's what I'm saying. It's just like Hollywood. There's plenty of people in Hollywood that act like they're so left and they're Democrats, but they really ain't. But they have to stay they are, or they'll get canceled.
Or they can't just say anything at all. They stay out of it. Yeah.
Or they stay out of it.
They're silenced. They're silenced by that stuff. They silence them and by not even, and they don't even have to say anything to them. They silence them because they know they can't speak up because, they're going to get booed out. They're going to get blackballed and all that. And that's why, like Mel Gibson and them, they hate him. And like, the actors that actually take a stand.
They've hated him ever since the Passion of Christ. That's
but he's got his own production company, so they can't stop him. He can do his own stuff.
Not anymore.
But, and that's the thing. It's like they want to,
Wow, we've been on here 2 hours, dude.
Like one guy said, there's actually a lot of people that, are for Trump and vote for Trump. They cannot say it, though. They cannot say anything. They have to sit there at the award shows. No, they sit there the other night at the award show and showing them talking about it. And they're all clapping. And that's what I mean, Hollywood. And they're all clapping and then you got certain ones just sitting there.
Hollywood is dead.
Look here. I don't even know what magazines they even get on the cover of anymore. But I can remember going through the stores and convenience stores, and you always see these Hollywood actors on these magazine covers and all this stuff.
Anymore.
People live in their fabulous lifestyles, and it always shows stuff. And that's what one guy was saying. Look, because he was questioning it, and he was talking about it on his podcast, and he said, like you just said, Hollywood's dead. They have no sway. They have no pull. Nobody wants to be them anymore. Used to in the 80s and 90s, people thrived and wanted to be in Hollywood. They wanted to make that trip. They wanted to go out there and see if they could become an actor and successful and be a movie star. Now it's like, they're like, no, you can just get on social media and do whatever you want now. You don't even have to do any of that acting class, school, any of that stuff. All right, American Uncensored, be good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I was in Florida, Salty, it was called the Golden Nugget Lounge. And here's the thing. What do you think about, I know you're probably going to have to go. One last question, since we've been on 2 hours. What do you think about the gold card that he's offering to millionaires and billionaires? I don't either. Now, as long as they vet them proper, which I believe they will.
It's the same as the green card. He's just calling it something different.
It's just if you have money, you have enough money to come in and prosper and build a company. If you want to make a company and get the perks.
As long as they vet them and make sure they're not cartel or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or some crazy nut job. And they vet them and they pay to come here and they assimilate and they become a citizen. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. I don't either. If they're going to build warehouses and factories and give American people jobs,
I got no issue with it.
And pay back, like they said, they're going to pay taxes and contribute to society.
These other ones, these other illegals, we're giving.
That's buying all the convenience stores up, and they don't pay nothing, send all their money back. They need to go back, in my opinion. They need to leave. They need to go back to their own country, or they need to start paying taxes and paying what they owe. Even Hillary Clinton said it when she was campaigning. We don't care if you come, but you're going to come the right way. And then the ones that are here already, that's here, you're going to pay a hefty fine. And if you want to stay here, you're going to pay a hefty fine. You're going to pay back enough money to be a hefty fine. You're going to pay into your community, and you're going to do 2 or 3 other things. And then they say, oh, yeah. Well, go back and watch Hillary Clinton's speech on it, and Obama's and Clinton's. All those people still, they wanted secure borders. They did. They wanted secure borders. They ran on it. They may not personally, but their campaign wanted it. So they ran on it. They talked about it. They talked about how they didn't want just illegals running over here. But no, when Trump shuts down the border, like he said, it doesn't take Congress to shut down the border. It just takes a new president, just somebody to come in to say, hey, shut the border down. That's what he did. He came in and said, shut it down. And what did they do? He said, send the military down there. No one's to cross. And I think we should have borders. I'm strong belief in borders.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, how many monkeypox and shit's going around right now? 1 death already. Ain't that what it is?
Measles.
Measles. Okay. Well, I thought it was monkeypox.
That's from unvaccinated kids.
Yes, and well, they decided they did a test the other day.
That didn't come from the Hispanic.
No, it came from the Amish. One of them,
Mennonites.
the Mennonites or whatever. Yes, and that's because they don't vaccinate anything.
No.
Listen, I love the way they live. They're self-sustained. They have money. They probably got more money than anybody, just about. They save their money. They don't live on. I love the way that they work hard and all that. But hey, there's some things that I'm not saying they need to be forced to do. If they're not going to have steps to keep their kids vaccinated, they need to keep them in the community where they're not out.
The vaccine's been out for decades.
Don't take your kids.
It doesn't hurt you. It helps you. So
there
are vaccines out there that are proven to work and are good vaccines. We just don't want the bad vaccines.
Yes.
Like the cuckoo shot. We don't want that.
The cuckoo wacky holes. Yeah, but here's the thing: don't take your straw wearing kids to, overall straw wearing hat kids to Walmart if they're not vaccinated and get everybody else sick. Now, I have no issues. I'm not a racist man. I love all colors.
So do I.
But for the health of your town and the people.
You're protected.
Yes,
protected.
I've been shot since I was a kid. I've had my shots, but you know what I'm saying. Either keep that kid in that community and don't never let them come out until they get big enough to get a shot on their own, or not get a shot. They don't get anything. They're completely believing, no vaccines, no nothing. They don't get the polio shot. They don't get nothing. I mean, that I understand they have the freedom to do what they want and choose. That's why we have the freedom to choose. And it's their body. But also, when you're putting someone else's life in harm, there should be some kind of regulation to that. There should be some kind of, not mandate. I'm not saying they should make them, because then that infringes their, freedoms, but steps on their freedom. But here's the thing. If you know the kid's vulnerable and got it, don't take the kid anywhere.
Well, that's with any sickness. Don't take.
But don't the parents get it too, though? Even if since they ain't had the shot, wouldn't they get it?
And if they had it before in their life, they probably wouldn't get it again.
Yeah.
So
most kids get it. We had those when we were kids, and the good thing about my mother said we all had it. All 5 of us, because she had 5 of us, was all like a year and 4 months apart. We all had it like at the same time, so it all hit. We all got it and got it over with. Chicken pops or something like that, And it's funny. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. It's been 2 hours and 6 minutes. I hope you guys like this live stream. We're going to be doing more. We do more every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings on Retired Writer. This is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like. Share it out if you like to. This is John below me. I'm Ray on top. We also have John has another channel called Unchained Down the Rabbit Hole. I will leave it in the description. That way you can go into the description and find both of the channel, his channel and his 2 channels. We are going live tonight at what time?
7:30.
7:30 Eastern, right?
Yep.
And we're going to jump down the rabbit hole on free energy. So,
Yep.
But yes, I got an outgoing video. So guys, until tonight, we'll see you later.
Have a good one, guys.
Just want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my followers, everybody that's been watching the shorts, the videos, the live streams. And remember, we do have memberships now. So hit that join button, or we have super chats or super thanks. So I just want to say thank you for stopping by, checking my channel out. If you'd like to see this community grow, hit that join button. So until next time, stay in your lane or crash the damn thing.